So it's been a while since I've last filmed. Obviously, we're in a new location. I look different. Everything's different. It's weird. Understandable. We don't have enough time to go into it in this video, but just know I can't compete with the freaking weather. I'm just gonna lose every single time. And I'm trying to mitigate the lighting as much as possible, but it keeps getting brighter as if the world is telling me like, hey, you might want to lighten up the video just a tad. Especially since I'm talking about Project Hail Mary, and it's pretty much the reason why it rekindled my love of film. Greetings and salutations. Today we're going to be talking about Project Hail Mary, the movie adaptation, not the book adaptation, because we know I never read those. Originally written by Andy Weir, in the hands of the duo we know and love from Spider-Verse, The Martian, and I believe also the Lego Movie. It's a pretty simple premise with a little bit of a convoluted scientific background, but if we're really going for just the simple short version, basically Earth is going to die 30 years from now because of a scientific event that I can't really explain. But otherwise, the sun go boom. In comes the most unassuming and possibly least qualified man outside of his intellect and the sheer amount of effort he does to save us. Along the way, he meets a faceless rock where they're both dealing with the same circumstances of impending doom and must find solutions in order to save one another. And there's very little hope of them being able to make it back home. Which anything that I summarize in the way that I summarize it is going to be a cut and dry premise. You've heard the concept done before. Man gets estranged or alien gets estranged on this random planet and now has to survive the circumstances to get back home. We've seen Earth to Echo, we've seen E.T. Those are movies that I feel like have the same heartwarming tones and have its own original element that even Project Hail Mary ends up developing throughout this movie. I'm not gonna lie, this feels like a test run for Starfighter. We know what you're doing, Ryan. I can also say with this movie, there is no one else that can ooh and ah like Ryan Gosling throughout this entire film. This man just nails the wonderment of the universe and looking at things and just being amazed. Going from a character that is stuck within the confines of a textbook to teach students is now launched into space and has to save the world essentially. And then also realizing that there is some undercut of loneliness that this character feels because he's now given a different purpose beyond those four walls that he's taught to teach in. Given the opportunity to be able to be more than what we are, we will always shy away from those circumstances. We will always say that we don't deserve those circumstances. And it's a very interesting thing, the people that don't necessarily assume those roles and positions. Seeing this character, Grace, you really want to make sure that you hone on the real elements of humanity, how it feels to be alone, being able to kind of survive circumstances and live up to bravery. It makes this film more enjoyable to watch because you can kind of land yourself in his position. Which with these characters, Grace and Rocky, you feel like you're watching two lab partners kind of geek out and play around and then locking in at the final second to get the job done and turn in the assignment. And I have to praise both actors, especially for being able to talk to essentially nothing. There's green screen, there's puppets for 80-70% of the film, and they're doing very well. And when that's a struggle with an actor sometimes, where you can't really connect with a tennis ball on a stick, this feels a lot more human than you would think. But outside of characterizations, this movie overall, in terms of its score and its visuals, do the justice that it needs to do for a sci-fi film. And I mean, like, you're looking at these scenes and Ryan Reynolds, or not, I keep saying Ryan Reynolds. It's not Ryan Reynolds. The score makes things feel huge, and it also enhances the stillness while obviously being in the vastness of the universe and having a black abyss stare back at you. The science aspect of this takes the backseat for a majority of this film. Like, science has left the building at this point, and we're mainly focusing on the aspect of an alien and a human becoming friends. So if there's anything with that feels a little disingenuous to the actual realities of the book, then it might not be for you, or it might not be something that those that read the book might be interested in. Although, if you were only there for the dynamic between the two, you're gonna love the dynamic between the two. It's obviously cutting short the time that it would have made in the book, because the book is this much and the movie has this much to make everything make sense.
And I know I'm not talking about Rocky as much during this review. It's simply because I'm not trying to open the door to spoilers. Regardless of how many people have already seen this movie, there are those that haven't or will not. And I feel like if I need to convince anyone to see this movie, you need to know that the chemistry between these two characters is phenomenal. One simply cannot go without the other, and it wouldn't be Project Hail Mary if it was.
It's been really nice to actually sit in a film and not feel like the plot is contrived, like it's trying to make me feel a certain way. And you can say that about all films are trying to make you feel a specific way. It doesn't feel manufactured for a specific audience, if that makes sense. Like, you see certain films and it just feels like it's trying to Oscar bait or trying to get an award for something. I actually got to turn off my brain, enjoy the experience of the film, and truly just be there for what it was presenting me. There's a decent dose of optimism and hope throughout this movie that leaves you feeling just energized and faithful in humanity for once. This just feels like the movie that hits the reset. You're not thinking about the things that are outside of it. You're not checking your phone for the runtime or how long is this movie going. You are locked in. When the landscape at all times is either replicating the things that we see before us, or it is in a sense that feels manufactured. It is one human with an alien trying to connect the dots and figure out not only just how to survive the circumstances they're in, when those problems are gone, what is going to be left afterward? And that is what this movie also answers in a sense, and I really do appreciate that. I'm trying not to get into spoiler details because I do want people to be able to enjoy the film if they haven't seen it yet. So if you're looking for a brain reset and just utterly need to sit and experience a film just once in your life, then I'll tell you Project Hail Mary is worthy of a bite, and I'd order it twice if I could. Anyway, case dismissed. But did you guys watch Project Hail Mary? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Be sure to tell me in the comments down below along with your thoughts, theories, and inquiries. If you liked the video, be sure to like, and if you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. And if you check the description down below, there will be portals to new endeavors where there's fun stuff that happens there sometimes. But anyway, I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I'll be sure to see you guys on the flip side.